We're on the phone with Jay from Salt Lake City, and he has a question about the Syrian refugees. Jay, you're on the line with Senator Lee.
Hello, Jay.
Yes. What are we really doing to vet the Syrians?
Okay, so with all of our refugee programs, anytime we take refugees into the United States from any country, we ask them a series of questions. We collect biometric and biographical details about them. And U.S. personnel, long before anyone arrives into the United States, makes every effort to check out the facts, check out the details, so that we know that they are who they in fact say they are. So there are a lot of steps taken. But Jay, I have yet to be convinced that these steps are foolproof. And so particularly when it comes to receiving people from this particular part of the world, receiving refugees who have been displaced as a result of the crisis in Syria, I think we've got to be especially careful, especially given the fact that it's a well-known plan of attack used by ISIS and other like-minded terrorist groups to deliberately put people into a system in which they can enter the United States and enter other Western countries under false pretenses, specifically in order to carry out acts of terror. And so these methods, while important, are, in my opinion, not sufficient to guarantee the American people that it's safe for us to continue without any more reforms to our system. Now, so far, it's my understanding that we've received about 2,000 refugees from Syria since this crisis became really acute in the last couple of years. It's also my understanding that a very tiny percentage of those Syrian refugees, I mean, I'm talking about 1 or 2% of the 2,000 or so refugees that we've recently received from Syria, are military-aged males. And so that might be comforting in some respects. It might cause some people to not experience as much concern. But a number of people are pointing out that, number one, ISIS and other like-minded terrorist groups are not above having women be used as vehicles for terrorist activity. Number two, the fact that we still are admitting some military-aged males from Syria causes a number of people concern. Number three, we in this country have long been dedicated to a pattern of family reunification. And if today we're receiving mothers with children, their husbands may eventually want to come over, their husbands may eventually get in, and under our laws might find a way to get in. And so we have to take all these things into account. This is not to say that I think we have to indefinitely halt all immigration from Syria, but I think right now, in light of these terrorist attacks, we really ought to be suspending, at least for the time being, at least for the next few months, our receipt of more refugees from Syria until we get a firm handle on who we're letting in and how we can protect the American homeland from the type of terrorist activity that we saw in Paris.